On my mind, gotta hustle and grind. Financial literacy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Rated Arrow, and we are back at it again on Future Financial Strategies. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Definitely turn the bell notification on because I do not flood your feed like some of these other content creators. Obviously, we are over here at Future Financial Strategies documenting the journey to $1 million in net worth. And reporting back, testing, and focusing on the financial moves that we're making. Obviously not making over six figures, making well below six figures. Is one of the things that is unique to this channel. I am not at the mountaintop preaching down to you. I am going to work, doing my 9 to 5. Well, actually, it's not a 9 to 5. It's like a 7:30 to 6. Because we do 410s, which is awesome. I like the freedom that allots. And I would prefer to, honestly, I would rather work 3 days a week and figure out how to make that work into 40 hours than work any more days than I have to. Like, if I could work 2 20-hour days, I would do that. But that said, we're going over the strategies that I'm implementing. We're reporting back the results. We've got multiple different facets of things that we're doing, different strategies that we're trying, different things that we're reporting back on, all with the goal of helping us increase our asset holdings and our income so that we can be at a work optional / retire early state. I mean, that's your decision. Me personally, work optional is more along my proclivity. Like, I understand some of you are in grueling jobs that you hate, absolutely hate. I prefer to have the option to work. I'm not going to not work, so I'm not going to sit here and act like at some point, once I hit work optional, I'm just going to be on a beach. There might be some long vacations involved, though. There definitely might be some more downtime involved. Might be some more self-care or some of that stuff involved. But as far as not working, I can't fathom it in my brain. Like, I'm a very active person, so not working is not going to be a thing that I'll probably be doing. But work optional is a space I want to be in because I do like the ability to say I'm not going to do this and leave, or have the leverage of being like, I'm not coming in, I'll leave. Like, I do like that. I like having the out. So that's what we're working towards today. Have you hit the like button? If you have not hit that like button, definitely hit that like button because we need the feedback. We need the feedback. Even if you hit the dislike button, if you think all the things that we're doing over here are garbage, yeah, I'm not letting that go. I'm not letting that comment go. So I'm going to keep bringing it back up and shoving it down your throat as we win over here, because that's what we do in the Wolf Pack. We don't complain, we compete. But we do keep those cookies in the cookie jar, so I appreciate the blatant illogical statement of people who are having an emotional outburst about math. And I keep it in the cookie jar, and I'll bring it back up every few episodes. Maybe every episode. We don't know. It depends on how I'm feeling. But definitely hit the like. Hit the dislike, too. I mean, if you don't like it, like, hit the dislike. That's fine. It's feedback. Feedback is feedback. Engage with me. Tap in down in the comments. Share the video, because at the Wolf Pack, we're not trying to get rich by ourselves. The other thing so today we're talking about why I'm all in on Bitcoin. Of this being Future Financial Strategies, the name of the channel says it all. How are we not going to be a part of the best performing asset in its existence over the last 15 years? Actually, almost 16 years, 15 plus years. Of course, it's a big part of my portfolio. It's literally one of the original Future Financial Strategy that piqued me starting to look at some of the non-conventional other things that I'd been ignoring because Bitcoin worked so well. Now, does it mean that I'm super rich? No, because the reality of it is there's only a handful of people that get in that echelon of early adopters, because I didn't get into the market just investing in Bitcoin. I invested in all the distractions, just like most of you are. We didn't have meme coins when I started over a decade ago, but there were some other projects that were releasing that were not going anywhere. And I happened to be all in on one of those projects. So my Bitcoin allocation, I didn't understand the market. I came in, I was trying to get rich next Tuesday, and I didn't. So, but one of the things that I can say since I've been in the crypto market is every 4 years when the Bitcoin bull run visits us, just like what's happening now, it is a life-changing event for those of us who have been in the market and are in the markets. For instance, my first entrance into crypto was not that great, but I did walk away with like $6,000, which was good on paper. But the 20 something $1,000 loss on paper didn't feel good, but I walked away with something. So that was like the first little wetting of the palate of like, you can make some massive gains in this environment. Now, the second bull run that I was a part of, oh boy, howdy. We made some major moves. We got ourselves into a home ownership state. We negotiated myself into a business partnership at the job that I'm at. We cleared out all the consumer debt we had at the time. We paid our car off. So like these were things that like gave me breathing room, like gave me the ability to move forward. Like now I am investing in order of magnitudes more than what most people are because of the way that I've set my lifestyle up, which was with the goal of getting wealthy/rich. Like I want to have a better life than most people. And in order to do that, you got to do stuff that's counterintuitive or things that other people aren't willing to do. And for me, it was setting myself up in a space where I was going to be able to invest as much as possible, because obviously I knew that like going and chasing the bag wasn't going to be a fix for me. So I had to become financially literate, and I had to figure out how to maximize every dollar that comes into or cycles through my bank accounts. And I believe that we're really close. I mean, obviously, am I still doing stuff? Yeah. I'm doing it in a more informed fashion. Like I'm not just out spending copious dollars at the club every weekend just to be there and not have a good time. I'm putting my money on things that I value. I'm making informed decisions, such as instead of just trading my car and when the head gasket blew, I went ahead and bit that bullet because financially in the longer term, I would be able to get a vehicle that I want. I'm really in a space where I'm doing stuff that I want. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to get a vehicle that I want. And then also still be in that realm of being able to pay it off within 2 years, 2 to 3 years, something like that. Like I don't like loans over 36 months. Now, do I take out loans to get the payment low? Absolutely. Do I pay them all off early? Absolutely. Being financially disciplined within my home, within how I navigate with things. Do I buy everything that I want right then? No. And being in the cryptocurrency space and being exposed to Bitcoin has allowed me to get into a space to where I can do those things. The other thing that Bitcoin has done is it has given me the ability to project out and have a lot more foresight with my finances. It's changed the way that I look at money in general. So this show is going to be why I'm all in on Bitcoin, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. The reason's simple. It is at present the best horse in the race. It's not that I have an emotional attachment to Bitcoin. It's that since I've been in this space, since I got my finances right, since I have been dialed in on Bitcoin and started to hit some metrics and some goals on Bitcoin and have the majority of my wealth in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, I've seen the growth. I have seen the potential. I have seen these life-altering Bitcoin halving events, these Bitcoin bull runs. And while it's not, I walked out and I was a multi-millionaire and I don't have to go back to work and I went and told my job where they could shove it and I quit, it has been a progression forward. And it's not, I'm not going to say I'm the smartest person, but like it's taught me, I'd say from as a financial strategist, as a capital allocator, I am pretty good at it. At least in the small scale of my personal finances. My net worth is growing year over year. I'm in gamify the increase in the income. I'm able to multiply my money well. So at a certain point, if you're doing all the things, and I tell people this all the time, if you're doing all the right things, then eventually you're going to be rich. And you should be able to, honestly, if you're doing all the right things, you should be able to project out about the point, like your points when you're work optional. I've got that down. It should be within 36 months or less, depending on what the ramp up is. I still got to see what taxes are going to look like, but my tax strategy, the tax play that I'm going to do with my income portfolio specifically, that could be a definitive boost in what we're doing because of the way that I'm going to go about doing that. But within 36 months, based on what we're doing with just the income portfolio, that's not including the Bitcoin, that's not including long-term holdings, which long-term holdings portfolio really is growing slower than the income portfolio because all the money goes to the income portfolio first. And then as we start hitting certain metrics, we start hashing out into the other portfolios. But as we are moving forward and as those portfolios grow, we're really focusing on the work optional piece of it coming from the income portfolio in and of itself. Now, my projections for Bitcoin is by the time we hit not this bull run, but the next bull run, that portfolio should be, with the Bitcoin standard that we've implemented and the way that we're going about moving forward, should be touching $1 million by not this bull run, the next bull run. So at that point, I will be certified, no questions asked. I'll be the mountaintop. We've achieved the goal, even though $1 million isn't what it used to be, and I'll still probably be going to work in some form or fashion. Might be doing something less stressful, like we'll see. But that is one of those things where it's like, why am I all in on Bitcoin? The reason number one for the why is I'm seeing the results from it. Like, it's impacted my life. It's changed my life. Like, that's the main reason is mathematically, this works. Mathematically, it's the best horse in the race. The way that I am navigating my portfolio moving forward is we are looking for exponential growth and income. That's where we're looking at, which is a little bit riskier. And I know people will be like, oh, well, like the volatility, like, well, the volatility is only an issue if you're gambling with the rent money. And with Bitcoin, honestly, if you just project out, you should be fine. Like that shouldn't be a barrier of entry. Specifically, unless you're in a state where you're retired, in which case you should have already gotten your bag. You should be at the finish line and you should be, living off your portfolios. But we're seeing that that's not working. Look at your door greeters at Walmart. They're all old people. They're all old people who had 401ks that did all the things. So I don't see that being a viable option. So for me, I'm looking at Bitcoin as that viable option because I'm looking 5-10 years down the road. Also, I'm not trying to touch my Bitcoin until I can borrow against it. That's one of my other things, but that's neither here nor there. That's in the weeds. Number one, best horse in the race. Number two, I'm seeing results. So as I see my net worth increasing, because I track it every month, I track it. And if you track it every month, the great thing is you start having years of data of every month. Like I can see how my net worth is affected, but like year over year, I'm improving. I'm moving up in chunks faster than most people. Also, I'm not having to rely solely on having my house be the bulk of my net worth. Like that's also kind of one of the things that in the net worth financial scape, people love to talk about their net worth. And it's like, okay, so like you're factoring your house and all these things that aren't liquid, your house, your 401k, all these things that you'll get penalized for. If you try to pull all the money out, you're taking a 40% hit on it, or you got to move, which you also don't want to do. Those metrics, being able to factor my net worth in and have the non-existent 401k, not even be a part of it. And then my home being a small part of it. Like I'm looking at being mobile. Like if I want to pack up and leave, I don't want to be penalized for it. I want to be able to navigate as I see fit. Any system I want to be in, I want to be in control of it. I want to be in control of my money. I don't want to have a third party that could be or could not be biased in between me and my wealth. The other third most important reason is following the money, which we're going to bring to the screen. Let's talk about what big money's doing. And actually, let me get out of here so you guys can see this. Following the money. All the banks, all of our institutions, all the stuff that the financial gurus look up to, and they're like, look at what these guys are saying. And they just literally are taking them at their word. Even though those same institutions are buying Bitcoin while telling you to not buy Bitcoin so that you can be broke forever or work till you're 65 or 70 and then, retire and then have 5 years of doing nothing before you expire from this earth. I just look at where the money's going. I look at what countries are doing. I look at what governments are doing. I look at what jurisdictions are doing. I look at what states are doing. I look at what publicly traded companies are doing. I look at what private companies are doing. And they're all buying Bitcoin. So this is from 2022. A 2022 study published an asset management published by asset management giant BlackRock went viral on social media and news outlets. The study grabbed readers' attention with the assertion that 84.9% allocation to Bitcoin resulted in the optimal portfolio. Now, if you think you're smarter than BlackRock that's buying up everything and everybody's complaining that BlackRock is taking over the world and getting into these financial markets and completely disrupting them by taking them over, and they're just buying up everything, they're buying up all the assets, and there's just going to be nothing left for anyone else, and you guys are just going to have nothing and you're going to love it, then, if you think you're smarter than them, then by all means, let me see your portfolio. Where are your results? Where are these things happening? But BlackRock themselves have told all of their clients, all of the wealthy, all of the 1%, that you should probably be having like about 84.9% into Bitcoin. That's what you should have. Now, me personally, I don't know that I'm at 80% anymore because by and large, I have been completely over leveraged into Bitcoin. Recently, I've been buying some other things. I've been setting up some other portfolios. So money has been diverted to generate income, which is also being used to buy Bitcoin. But I've focused on getting a buffer in between my Bitcoin and me having to spend it because I don't want to spend my Bitcoin. Like, that's my thing. It's like, I want to have it. I want to hold it forever. And then at some point, if I can leverage it, then we can start talking about making some moves on it. But I don't want to be in a position where I have to sell my Bitcoin. That said, I can definitely understand, because when I went all in on Bitcoin initially, my wealth was 90% Bitcoin. I was actually over this allocation. So that makes sense. But that's what BlackRock says. Other things, keeping it moving. Fidelity. Everybody knows Fidelity. That's a household name. You guys all use Fidelity. They have an entire segment of their services now dedicated to crypto so that you can buy and house your crypto through them. Probably nothing, right? Like, definitely going to take all that time to set up all these services and make all these suggestions to your wealthy clients that it's your job to keep them wealthy, that they should buy Bitcoin. But all you poors, all you working class average people, you guys keep doing what we told you. Keep putting your money in your 401k and your Roth, and you fund those first. You work till you're 65, and then you maybe have to go be a door greeter at Walmart at this point from what the numbers are showing back. And then you can expire from this planet. But everybody else, we're going to go ahead and get Bitcoin. And you're watching this wealth transfer happen right in front of your faces. This is Fidelity. This is Fidelity's website. Like, I'm not making this up. I'm just giving you the facts. For those of you listening, I've got Fidelity's website pulled up. They have fidelity.com/crypto. Whole page dedicated to crypto. Entire page. Educational stuff on here and everything. It's wonderful. Who else is getting into crypto, you might ask, since it's not that big a deal? Well, let's take a look at the next page. I got bitcointreasuries.com, and I'm going to drop the link for bitcointreasuries.com. It'll be in the reference section under the video in the description for those of you who want to come look and do your own research, which I highly recommend. You shouldn't just be listening to these random wannabe gurus on the internet. Now, over here at Future Financial Strategies, you know what our motto is. Somebody has to tell the truth. And it might as well be me. So, looking at Bitcoin treasuries, let's talk about it. Public companies that own Bitcoin. I'm just going to name a couple of the big ones. MicroStrategy. You guys know about MicroStrategy. If you don't know about MicroStrategy, the ticker symbol is MSTR. You should go look them up. This company by itself, since implementing a Bitcoin standard for the company, has outperformed every company in the S&P 500. Every single one, including NVIDIA. All of them. Best horse in the race. We're going to be doing another video dedicated to MicroStrategy, actually, because I am also all in on MicroStrategy as much as I'm all in on Bitcoin now. Another one, Tesla. You guys know Elon Musk. Love him, hate him. Definitely trying his darndest to save the planet. Doing some really innovative stuff. Man of the future. Holds Bitcoin. Quite a bit of it. They're actually number 4 on the list. MicroStrategy being number 1. Tesla is number 4. And everybody kept thinking that Tesla dumped all their Bitcoin. They are the 4th largest public company that holds Bitcoin in the world, people. Now, I'm more interested in, because like there's a bunch of other companies that are of different, they're all crypto related companies though. So those are going to be the big standouts. Now, the next section that we've got here, and this is the reason I like this page. It's, again, Bitcoin treasuries.com. It's one of the reasons I like this so much is because it breaks down into multi-different categories. So countries and governments that own Bitcoin. USA is at number 1 largest holding of Bitcoin, followed by China, followed by the UK, followed by the Ukrainian government, followed by the royal government of Bhutan, followed by El Salvador, in which this country specifically, El Salvador, Bitcoin is legal tender there. Followed by Finland, and then to the Georgia government, and then last but not least on the list is Germany, but they sold all theirs, so they're now at 0. So they're a dead last on the list. Shame on them. Not necessarily shame on them. They probably had some bills to pay, but they're going to regret that loss of capital in the long term. But yeah, so there's countries that own Bitcoin as well that are holding Bitcoin. Interesting. Then you've got private companies that own Bitcoin, and I'm going to scroll down to, for those of you listening, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, 7 and 8, both American companies. Stone Ridge Holding Group. Now I'm gonna actually pull that up. I want to know what they do. Hold on. Stone Ridge Holding Group. Now, Stone Ridge. Okay. So let's talk about this. We innovate to perpetuate for an uncertain future. Stone Ridge Asset Management is a financial services firm based in New York. They've got and so see, they do, okay. So what they do, they've got 3 strategies that they working for you. Let's talk about, actually, hold on. They got a few strategies. So this is what you do when you're rich. You got reinsurance strategy. You've got The multi-strategy, which we blend exposure to sectors of our investments in a single vehicle, simplifying the process of accessing alternatives. Multi-strategy vehicles help allocators by reducing the pressure to pick winners and help investors by creating a smoother ride through diversification. They got longevity income. They have an art strategy because obviously all the wealthy are buying art. You poors don't have art. Alternative lending, energy. And then you get to page 3. What do they got? They got single family rentals. That's the reason all of you gotta rent. You can't own nothing. You gotta rent from these rich people. They have a Bitcoin strategy. They have drug royalties. These are the things that the ultra wealthy are looking at. I didn't even know Stone Ridge was a thing until now because I am a poor just like the rest of you, trying not to be. But here we are, looking it up. Another one, Massachusetts Mutual. Now that's an insurance firm. Holds Bitcoin. Go figure. Really interesting because these are private companies. Mass Mutual owns Bitcoin. They're a big holder of Bitcoin. They got a lot of Bitcoin. And as I'm looking through here, and then you get to the ETFs, obviously you have like all the Bitcoin ETFs. America has dominated that since launching it, which is awesome. Obviously, BlackRock being the largest holder by a long shot. But there are Bitcoin ETFs all over the world already that were in existence before that, but it's just we jumped in. And that's what it is. Also, the mining companies, the Bitcoin mining companies, companies that specifically mine Bitcoin. That's their game plan. That's their play. Also own Bitcoin and hold Bitcoin. So when I look at the grand scheme of things, when I look at the big macro overarching landscape, and I look at all of these large companies that have way more money than I'll probably ever accumulate in my life, and they're holding Bitcoin, when I see countries holding Bitcoin, when I see countries making Bitcoin a legal tender, this isn't just an America space. If America banned Bitcoin today, it would be as a benefit to Bitcoin as a whole. We're not needed. It's a global thing. Pandora's box has been opened. And when I look and see everyone getting involved in it, also the ultra minuscule 0.5% of the 1%, the upper crust of the upper crust, getting into Bitcoin and seeing the results that I've been getting personally, I'm like, it would be, in my opinion, financial suicide to not be a part of that. Or to have an opinion that is just so off base and so wrong that you're just going to be poor forever because you got an ego thing and you think you know better than every rich person that has more money than everyone in your entire family combined. It just doesn't make sense to me. So those are the reasons why I'm all in on Bitcoin. I'm a big follow the money guy. I'm also a big follow what's working guy. But with Bitcoin, it's both working and you can follow the money. The money trail is there. It's like, yo, like, look at everyone getting in on this. And it's not everyone who's in my financial situation. It's everyone who's in the financial situation that we're aiming for. Get a little taste of that life. So for me, I'm all in on Bitcoin. Let me know down in the comments if you are also all in on Bitcoin. And if you're not all in on Bitcoin, I want to know what you're all in on, because I do research on things. I'm always keeping my ear to the streets. So if you're not all in on Bitcoin, I want to know what you've got that's competing with Bitcoin as far as return and efficiency and upward massive gain, because maybe there might be a space for whatever that is in my portfolio. Until next week, people, it's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are out of here. Peace.
Money on my mind, yeah. Focus, got no time for games, nah. I don't play, man, I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money art, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.